Good morning. Today is May 11th, 2024. Today I'm going to talking about geometry. Okay, so due to the recent request, I think there's a need for me to cover math instead of physics. So I'm going to temporarily stop the continue updates of the physics. I will start talking about the math, and then hopefully every day I can upload at least one video for geometry, and then another video for algebra. And then the content that I'm going to cover is going to be suitable for both middle school and high school students. If they are taking geometry and algebra class right now, but also for those of gifted students in elementary school, they want to learn the subject as well. They are more than happy to take a look at my videos. And then in my channel, I used to be called Mr. TA Physics. I'm going to get rid of this, just leave Mr. TA over there so you can do the YouTube search and then find me. Again, when I save the file, I'll probably go something like a geometry, and then I will write on the today's content or on the specific day's content. Let's say today we're going to be talking about concepts, right? And then I will put today's date, numeric value. See, this could be 05, which stands for May 11. It's today's date. The year is 2024. I'll probably put a -1 over there. So this is going to be my first video for geometry. Okay, if I get another video, I'll put -2, -3, so on and so forth. So that way you can keep track of it. Again, the key word at the beginning, geometry is very important for algebra class. Algebra course. And then I will put a specific content area for the day. And then again, I'm going to write down today's day and then 1 for algebra. You've got multiple course uploaded, and then I will put -2, -3, so on and so forth. Okay, so with that being said, I urge you guys to subscribe because I just started a YouTube channel. I might change it, the name again. So if you subscribe, you can always get hold of me, no matter which name I'm using. With that being said, let's get to the point. So for the geometry, the first thing I want to start it is the thing called point. P-O-I-N-T. What exactly is a point? You probably think that's easy, that's a point. Yes, it is indeed a point. However, if you use a magnifier, those magnifier, you look at the point suddenly becomes something like that, right? Literally, it's a dot, They have like a laser origin, radius, circumference, so on and so forth. So this is technically it's not a point, it's a small circle, right? So what point in mathematical word means, it is just a conceptual point. They don't have any dimension at all. In other words, if I use the magnifier to look at it, it's still just one point. That point does not take any space at all. So this is the pure mathematical concept. So you should be mentally prepared for a lot of mathematical concepts in any of the math classes. Okay? So don't even think a dot is a point, even though most of the time we used that way. You might wonder, if there's no dimension at all, then how do we draw the point? No, we cannot. So that's why we draw the point like this, to help you guys understand the concept of point. But technically, it doesn't occupy any space at all. It is just a concept. I know it's a little bit confusing, but that's the way math works. Okay? So the next thing I want to introduce is the 9. For instance, if we have a 9 like that, and then we named it A, B, 2 points. Okay, so we call this 9 AB, or we put the letter A and B, and then there's an arrow on top of it. Even though we don't say anything at all, like we just give you stuff like that, that means a 9AB. Okay, as you can tell, if I draw it in this way, it is still the same 9, right? In other words, the position of the letter does not matter, as long as those are indeed in the 9. And then those 2 arrows are extremely important. That means it would be extended to infinity through that direction. And this arrow tells us it will extend infinity to the other direction. Okay? And then the next concept I'm going to talk about is called a segment. Or people also call it 9 segment. 9 segment is the following. They have n points. And then there's 9, and then n point right here, for instance, AB. So people say segment AB, or people just use AB and then they put a bar over there. Again, the segment AB is exactly the same as segment BA. Notice we don't have the arrow over there, right? So you might wonder, what if we given something like, let's say CD, we have 1 arrow? What does that mean? That actually introduced a new concept called ray. Ray have a starting point. Where is the start point? 8. The start point is at the side where there's no arrow at all. So for instance, this is the point C, and then the C goes to that direction, and then that's D, and then that is a ray. In other words, ray is going to be extended only in one side. Okay? Again, what I draw is typically it's easy to say paper space. You can also draw something like that, C, D. This is also a ray. You know, the orientation doesn't matter. Just let you know. And then the next thing I try to introduce is, let me see, we got a 9 segment. Okay. The next thing I will try to introduce is those magic 2 bars. Okay, this is called absolute value symbol or sign. In other words, if I have a number 2, I put absolute value symbol or sign around it. It will give me a positive 2. What if I have a negative number inside? It also give me 2, positive 2. What if I get 0 over there? It also give me a number 0. Why are we talking about this in geometry? Because sometimes we need to figure out the 9-segment measurement. For instance, if I got a number axis like this, I got one point A and then another point B, and then the coordinate for point A, let's say, is -2, and then the coordinate for point B is A, for instance, and then we got a 0 right here. If I try to find out the 9-segment AB, okay, then what I need to do is, this is my starting point, this is going to be my ending point. So the length of the 9-segment AB will be the coordinate of ending points, in this case is A, subtract the coordinate of the starting points, in this case is A, the coordinate of A is -2. And then A subtract -2, when you subtract a negative number, it's the same as add the positive number. So it's going to be absolute value of A plus 2, that's absolute value of 10, which is 10. Okay, so exactly for the same problems, I want you guys to memorize this. You know what, I just draw it again. Okay, so I'm going to copy the number axis right here. This is going to be my A, coordinate -2. This is origin, this is the B, coordinate is A. So notice here, we're talking about 9-segment AB, right? But here, I want you to calculate 9-segment BA. Okay, so in this case, the B is the starting point. The A is the ending point. So in order to calculate the distance between A and B, I'm going to use the ending coordinates point, which is -2, and then subtract the starting points of the coordinate of the starting point. In this case is B. The coordinate is A. So -2 subtract -A is -10. Again, after I put those magic 2 bar around it, it become a positive 10. Okay. So that's pretty much everything about the 9 ray and 9-segment. So now I'm going to just briefly touch a little bit about the angle. Okay, so for instance, if I have something like that, right? So this is the angle I'm talking about. And then the starting point right here is A, and then the vertex here is O, and then another point in this line right here is B. So the angle we use to represent is the starting point, and then the vertex kind of in the middle, and then B. Okay? So that really is angle AOB. Okay. Again, if we let B as the starting angle, and then A is the ending angle, and then we will write down angle B, the middle vertex, and A. So what's the relationship between this angle and this angle? Actually, they are congruent. So now we introduce another concept of congruent. What the heck is this guy right here? The congruent, notice the symbol is like that. We're getting used to something like 1 equal to 1, like 4 equal to 2 plus 2, right? This is the equal sign we're already familiar with. But what is the congruent? what exactly is the thing on top of it, right? On top of it. So the thing on top of it right here, actually technically we cannot put those right here. They actually contain two information. This guy right here, I want you to sort up a shape. This guy right here, I want you guys thought about the measure or measurement. Okay. In other words, let's say if this angle is 30 degrees, that means the angle the measurement of angle AOB is 30 degrees. So if we put a little m in front of it, that means the measurement or the measure of that angle. That's literally the value right here. Again, if we look at the measurement of angle BOA, which is exactly the same thing, right? It is this angle right here. It's also 30 degrees. So, in other words, if we try to demonstrate the relationship between those two measures, we will say measure angle AOB equal to measure of angle BOA. Notice we didn't have the shape sign on top of it, right? Make it short. If we're talking about the measure, we use the equal sign. If we're talking about the relationship, right, we use the congruent. In other words, the congruent contains a little bit more information. It not only implies the measure of those two angles are the same, we're also talking about the shape. The shape is also identical. So with that being said, I'm going to concluding today's lecture. I'm going to upload additional algebra class later on today, and then hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe to it, and then leave the comments for anything, any of your problems you found a difficulty, or any of your reading of the textbook you found difficulties. Feel free to put in the comments over there. If there's a majority of the people who actually need help, I will read it through the comments, and I will provide additional videos just targeting for the specific questions. Thank you very much. I see you guys a little bit later. Bye-bye.